Hey guys, welcome back to another Make Way with the Morleys live stream. Hope you are well. It's Wednesday the 7th of March, 8:30 p.m. and it's great to see you here. By way of thumbs up, let us know if you can hear us, just so that we don't end up rattling on, talking to ourselves, but nobody being able to hear anything that we're saying. It's a bit of a delay in there. Can you hear? Hello? Hello, 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 hello. We got some thumbs up, so yeah, evening. Hi Anne. Oh God, that's going fast. Good evening everyone. Good evening Dan. Good evening Desmond Donders. Evening Ian from Caravan Gossip. Good evening Posh Cats Camping. James Crowder. Good evening John and Sarah. Good evening to you all. Hope you're well. Good to see that everyone managed to survive Snowmageddon last week. I hope it wasn't too much of an issue for you. We didn't have much here. Good evening, the Morley clan. Good evening, Shadows. Good evening, everybody. So, format for tonight's show. Tonight's show? Is it really a show? It's not a show.
Isn't it?
You're going out to walk the dog, aren't you?
I am. I'm poorly.
Kate's poorly, so we're going to do this day in history. Just a bit of fun. What we've done since our last live stream back from, which would have been our... Sorry, so in effect, this is our February summary. What's coming up in March, any news that we got, and a Q&A at the end. So if you've got any questions, by all means dive in and interrupt us. But we will be doing a bit of a Q&A if you've got anything at the end of the video. Good evening, Bob. Great to see you at the NEC, by the way. Who else we got? Good evening, Martin. You made it. Martin sent us a little message just to say that he was needing to nip out to the shops. Honestly, Martin, it's fine if you'd missed it. You can watch it on catch up after. But good evening, Claire. Good evening, Jules and Karina from Here We Tow. Good evening, Oliver. Good evening, Rob. Okay, let's get into it then. Are you doing one or are you going to stay?
Yeah, well, I can go.
I'm not kicking you out.
Hi and bye.
Good evening, Tony. Okay, so then, let's crack on. On this day in history, okay, maybe we should just hang fire a second, just say hello to a few more people. My Big Toe, good evening. Good evening, Cat from Wandering Bird. Hope you're well. Are you in the country? Are you somewhere else? Good evening from sunny Wolverhampton. I can tell you now, Pete, it's not sunny in Wolverhampton, but good evening. We're not a million miles away from you there. Ah, look, people are saying hi to you, look. Hi, Finn. Any cream eggs tonight, Kate? No. Good evening, Trevor and Rich. Currently at a campsite in Leamington Spa. Don't ask. Okay. Right. I hope it's nice. Anyway, Leamington Spa is beautiful. Right then. So, let's crack on. On this day in history, in 1876, Scottish-born inventor Alexander Graham Bell patented the what? What was it, Finn? Can you read from here? He patented the telephone. Interestingly, both his mother and his wife are both deaf. Maybe that inspired some of his work. But as he thought it was an intrusion to his real work as a scientist, he refused to have one in his home, in his study. It's quite funny. Pardon. Okay, did I say something wrong? In 1968, the first news programme in colour was broadcast on BBC Two. Dan, do you remember that one? Oh dear, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm inferring Dan's a bit old there. In 2015, the 1 millionth Morris Minor to be produced was sold at auction for £25,000, 55 years after it rolled off the production line, which was from 1948 to 1971. 1.3 million Morris Minors were made. I saw that stat earlier and I thought, oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. 1 millionth. And broke down 5 minutes later. Great British engineering. Okay then, so what have we done since our last live stream? So what have we done in February, Finn? Can you remember? I'll put you on the spot a bit there. Where did we go? Can you remember?
France.
We went to France in February. Can you remember?
No.
What did we do a couple of weekends ago? Who did we see?
Daisy and Freya.
That's right. We met up with some friends a couple of weekends ago at Searles, which is in Hunstanton. which was great. And we visited our family near the Caravan and Motorhome Club site, Ferry Meadows in Peterborough, which was cool. It was a bit of a frantic trip, but it was good to get away and get out again in February, despite the fact that the weather wasn't overly great. It was bitterly cold at the seaside, but we had fun, didn't we, I think? We did a temporary seal of our caravan front window. We published that. So you would have seen that. And we think that that's solved our problems. I haven't been back and checked a damp reading in the last week or so, but the readings were going down, so thumbs up, or hopefully that has sorted our issue out. We did a video about making it easier to get away in the caravan and some things to consider about that in case you are silly enough like I am and decide to do your best Buzz Lightyear impression from jumping out of the loft. That seemed to go down pretty well, so we're pleased. And of course we visited the NEC show, saw some new caravans and motorhomes. We saw some familiar faces, we saw some new faces, which was great. There's loads and loads of videos of the show. I'm sure most people have seen those. In my opinion, it's great to see the popularity of vlogging and people sharing that event. Sharing our hobby and interest is only a good thing. And the more people we tell about it, the more people will hopefully get involved in the industry and help to grow things, and innovation will be driven from that. Okay, we're caravanning in the Cotswolds last week in heavy snow, Rob. Rose tinted glass and Twitter, Sally and Rob. Ah, I did see that you'd been away. Did you have a good time? Hopefully the journey back wasn't too traumatic for you. We did have a bit of a moment coming back from that site, which would have been only our third or fourth trip out in the van, going down from Broadway, going down Fish Hill, which was really, really quite scary. But I'll tell you about that maybe another day. All right?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You had a bit of a break. So then, what's coming up in March? Unfortunately, there is a lot bubbling, but I don't really want to say too much because there's loads of little things behind the scenes. We're working on a couple of things to help make videos a little more professional, a bit more branding, boring stuff, but it might involve obviously some interaction and some learning with Photoshop, which I know how long it's taken me to get comfortable with Premiere Pro, so that will hopefully not be too much of an uphill battle. I may be leaning on somebody for some inspiration there as well. Hopefully we're going to do some product reviews. That might end up happening in April, though it really depends when we can get those and get them filmed. And also see the first sign of spring. I've had enough of winter now, really. It'd be great to see some new growth on the trees and actually gets a bit of warmth back into the country, because it's been a real dank old rank winter. Hopefully there is no more snow coming over the next week or so, which I've seen a forecast today, so there might be, which will be a bit pants if there is. We'll be making preparations for a trip to Scotland, but I'll come back to that in a second. We've got a trip to Scotland planned for the start of April, which will be good fun. So then, what else have we got coming up? Tony Evans says, really wanted to visit the NEC show, but we were away at the Ludlow Touring Park. Maybe next time. We're keen to see the accessory stores. Good stuff. Well, how was Ludlow Touring Park? Is that the one operated by Morris Leisure? Because we haven't been there. We'd definitely like to see that. Bob Earnshaw says, the Harrogate Motorhome show, 22nd of March. Thanks, Bob. Sounds good. We won't be attending that one, but sounds good. I want to get the Caddock out and barbecue into the evening. Quite right, Dan. Me too. Get the Caddock out. We haven't used our Caddock for a long, long time. We need to. There are a couple more videos we want to do on the Caddock actually, which would be good fun to do. Hopefully not more snowcat. Hopefully not. By the way, did you pick up new bikes? Did I see the other day? That's a bit of fun. Okay, so then. I'm rattling through all I've got to say real quick as per usual, so if you've got any comments, jump in and ask us. Good evening, Northern Explorers. Maybe they're very pretty. Oh, you need to put some on Insta, let us know. I need to buy a Caddock. Definitely, Matt. one of the best purchases we've made. I know it's not for everybody, and there are some people that I've read before that have said, you know, that they've bought them and never used them. For me, I've wanted one for a long time before I bought ours. You want to read some of the comments? No? Been using the kayak in the conservatory, really? Hopefully with some ventilation. Ronnie Hill, I sold my caravan and I'm buying a bus. Really? What, single, double decker?
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous.
That sounds good though. A bus? How long would it be? Be awesome. Where are we? My big toe. Put our awning up on site today just before watching the forecasting scenes. Snow may be on the way. Oh dear. Well, hopefully you'll be fine. Strap it down nice and good. We went to Love to Stay 2 weeks ago. Our first time using the caravan in winter. Must say I loved it. Love to Stay is a great site to go to in the winter. The facilities there are awesome. We have got to do a site review video, which hopefully will be coming up in the next few weeks. So that is something that may happen. What else we got? We had a big one, but need a nickel one. Yeah, we did. I was really surprised actually at the size. We've got the Cadet Carriage F2 and it is enormous. For us, it's perfect for the family that we have. But you know, for certainly only a couple of people, it's probably a little too big, Matt. Okay, with door open and with to get your money's worth. Okay, so on to some news. As I mentioned, we have got a trip to Scotland planned. It's 9 nights. It will be the first time that we're sort of doing a bit of a multi-trip style tour, for want of a better phrase. We obviously did a couple of nights at Searles and then did one night at Peterborough a few weeks ago, but this will be something different, and for us to drive around and visit 5 sites in total will be something that we've not done before, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out, because obviously with the kids and with all the way up, which will be our longest leg, we are then heading to Killarney Castle in Ayrshire. Then we're going to go up to Loch Lomond, Strathclyde Country Park, and then we will be coming back to Windermere to break the journey up. So the longest day will be the first, will be the outing leg of it. Then we stay there for a night, and then we're heading up to Killeen Castle, which will be great fun. Finn's been there when he was a tiny baby. I've never been there, so that should be good fun. The legs that we're doing between the days are roughly 2 hours, so hopefully, even though we're going to have to pack up and move on, that shouldn't be too much to ask for the kids to get in the car and to for us to pitch and move on. So let's dive into some. Do you see any more questions, Finn?
No.
Who out there would venture onto the roof of their caravan to clean it? I'm not sure I would. Would you? I have seen some people do it. I do remember, if my memory serves me right, that I have seen John Wickersham did. I'm sure I saw a video with him on the roof of a caravan. What else? Where are we? We love Moffat. Moffat's a great town. I've stayed there before on the motorbike. A little inn just on the left hand side as you go in. Great place to stay, by the way. If you are a motorcyclist, they've got great storage. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested, and I'll send you a link. Rather you than me. 5 sites in 9 nights. Oh, it'll be fine, Rich. It'll be fine. Or Trev, whoever it is. Strathclyde, where me and Sarah's supposed to start work in May. Okay, that's a shame. Windermere is not in Scotland. No. Okay, it's a tour around Scotland. We're doing Windermere on the way back just to break it up a bit. We love the lakes as well. Great little round trip. You said it right. Killeen Castle. I think that's how you say it. Apologies if I got that wrong. Ludlow touring site is brilliant. I've lost my place. 30-minute walk along narrow paths in a busy town. With the bad weather, what is your limit on towing? Would you deter you from making your journey to the site? What's my limit? Do you mean in terms of bad weather? Well, you You know, for me, we've only got a 2-wheel drive car. Not that really that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm answering that very well. Obviously, the guys who went to Lee Davey and the crew that went up to the Arctic, they had snow tyres on their caravan. They also had XC90s, which are 4x4, big heavy things. I don't know if I'd be too keen on towing in the snow, I have to be honest, because the main roads are fine, but generally speaking, that is. You know, but I think I would probably delay. I know John Feeney was due to go away. I don't know if John's on tonight. I'm not sure if he cancelled his trip. But yeah, I don't know. What's everybody else think? I wouldn't want to tow in the snow. No, we wouldn't tow in heavy snow, even with a 4-wheel drive. No, that's probably a good idea, Rob. Okay, where are we? We did ours. Okay, you're hardcore though. Not me, always. But apparently ours is reinforced. Oh, you're talking about the roof. I thought you meant talking about the snow. Moffat is just past Colleen Junction. I would take. Clean the roof of a caravan. Sorry, I think any risk of snow I would be alternative plans, to be honest. Not worth the risk. We left Chatsworth early to beat the snow. Yeah. I don't really think it's worth the risk either. You know, the screensavers come on, dang it. Alright, Finn? He's busy reading the comments. Not worth it, even with a 4x4. No, you're quite right. We cancelled where we were going to do to Cirencester. Not worth the risk. We towed in the snow last week, but just covering on the site. Okay, so we have finally booked our summer holiday. Now, after lots of to and froing,
Daddy.
after actually, before I go into that, Dan, there was Isla once, just after we got the caravan. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before on a video, but Isla came home from school one day and she said to Finn, Finn, what do you like best?
What joke you don't? What joke? Wait.
What do you like best? Mummy and Daddy or the caravan? She said, and Finn was like, "What? Mummy and Daddy, of course." But Isla, yeah, she loves it. You're right.
Yeah. What joke do you not like?
I don't know why.
That's a boring joke.
Go on, tell me. We're live. We gotta keep talking. Okay. Hey Finn, tell us a joke that Dad wouldn't like. Ah, I see what you mean. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we finally booked our summer holiday after a lot of to and froing. Kat and I spent a long time talking about things, where we'd like to go. We weighed up a load of options. The possibility of going to Spain, going, you know, further afield, going to Austria or Switzerland or Germany perhaps. But the reality is, you know, for us to get to that area of Europe, it's a 2-day drive, and we don't really think that it's overly fair on the kids, certainly the girls, being the age that they are, to be sat in the car for that amount of time. We did the Alps a couple of years ago when we just had Finn, and it took us the best part of 2 days to get there, and that was without towing. We had a great time. Though, you know, that area of France is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. I'd love to go back, but unless we were going to go away for 3 or 4 weeks, which for me is just not possible with work, we wouldn't be considering that whilst they're at the age that they currently are. So.
Someone said more like your ears.
More like, yeah, my ears wouldn't like it, listening to you kids fighting in the back of the car for 2 days. So the idea of Spain really appealed because we could get a ferry from Portsmouth to Santander and Bilbao. Excuse me, I've got to take a drink.
Oh, we're there yet.
And the idea of being on a boat for that long actually isn't all that bad because, you know, they'd have plenty of opportunity to run around. But ultimately, what put us off was the cost. The cost of that ferry is significant, and we just felt that we couldn't really justify that. The other thing was we found a couple of sites, and we probably wanted to go near Barcelona area or northeastern on the southern side of of Spain. I'm not really explaining myself. North of Barcelona on the coast, and that's probably about a 4-hour tow. So even so, again, all of a sudden we've eaten 2 days into our holiday just getting there. So we've decided, in a long-winded way of me saying so, that we're going to go back to France. We're going to head to the Vendée region, which is just a bit further south of where we went last year. So we've probably got a 3 or 4 hour drive the other side. My sister's coming with us as well, again, despite her woes of the last month or two where they had all of their camping gear nicked, which is a story in itself, and those who know it will be probably still can't believe it, but never mind, we won't go into too much detail on that. So yes, as Matt says, the Bay of Biscay. I've heard interesting things about covering the Bay of Biscay. Love the Vendée. We've been to the Vendée several times. We've been been camping. Excuse me. We've been camping there before, and there's loads to see and loads to do there. So yeah, it should be good fun. We're really looking forward to it. We drove from Calais to Barcelona. Took the best part of 3 days. Yep. And I haven't got the problem doing the driving. I'm kind of used to doing the driving, you know, with my day job and needing to drive hundreds of miles in a day. No problem at all doing the drive, but it's the fact that it's not really fair on the kids and that they would get bored and it would be incredibly stressful. And by the way, we had some really nice comments on our last trip away when we went to Searles. And somebody said that your kids look like they have so much fun, and they do in the main. But tonight was testament to their true personalities. So the kids are in the bath. I went just out the room, just turned round to go out the room. Isla's screaming, Livy's drawn blood. They're fighting in the bath. And you'd have thought...
Would we love a trip abroad, Spain or France?
Would we love a trip abroad? Would love a trip abroad, Spain or France? I'm not 100% sure. I'm confident to go so far though. Your France trip looked amazing. Thanks. Sorry, I've just gone off on a bit of a tangent there. So yeah, they do fight. What we see obviously is certainly a little curated because you're not going to see them fighting all the time. But hey ho, they are normal kids. They do play up, and tonight was, you know, they managed to prove that to us. And Isla, you would have thought she'd just been shot. It was ridiculous. Okay, so Tony, to answer your question, we'd love a trip abroad, France or Spain. I'm not 100% sure. I'm that confident to go so far though. Your French trip looks amazing. So Tony, where would you be coming from? I said this before, but driving in France is actually far easier. Towing in France, I found, was actually far easier than in this country. There is so much little traffic to deal with. Once you get over the whole driving on the right hand side of the road, it should only take you 10 or so miles to get used to it. Tony, so you're from not a million miles away from where we are, probably about an hour on. So depending on whereabouts in Shropshire. So 2 seconds. So yeah. Depends how far you want to travel in France. As you're coming from that region, I'd probably say Portsmouth or Plymouth, like we did last year, as opposed to going to the east side of the country. But it depends where you want to go in France. Drop us an email if you want. If you want any recommendations for areas, we've done it quite a lot with the kids. I'll put a link in the description with our email address in. So yeah, ask away any questions, and hopefully we can answer you. What were you going to say?
Doesn't know. Will
you take the dog?
Yeah.
No. Bruno is going on holiday. Bruno is going to my parents. They unfortunately lost their dog just after we had paid our deposit for Bruno, which was kind of a little bit awkward because he was obviously very treasured, and to tell them that we were just bringing a puppy home in a few weeks' time, just after they'd had to have her. Sorry, I said he. After they had to have Molly put down, was not the best of times. But they're over that now, and they've kindly agreed to take Bruno. They absolutely love him. They adore him. So he's going to be going there. And the reasons for that I can maybe cover in another video, but no, he's not coming with us. But he will be coming with us to Scotland and the Lake District. So hopefully he will have fun there.
So he won't be coming with us in France?
No.
I thought we were just going to leave him in the car.
What? We can't do that. He might suffocate.
And why can't we just take
Oh,
him?
you mean on the boat?
Yeah.
No.
Not like...
No, he's not coming with us. He's going to Nanny Maggie's and Grandad Bruce's.
Okay.
Okay, so love driving in France. Motorhome cameras are so much better catered for than in the UK. For those of you who aren't sure of driving in France, give it a go by just going a little way. There's a site 100 miles from Calais, 200 miles from Dieppe. It's lovely, camping St Clair. Thanks, Matt. Well done, Finn. You're doing a great job helping with the questions. He is. He can stay and read the questions. Okay, so where are we? We would recommend Lake Garda when you feel the time is right. I've travelled there in 2 previous occasions. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to go there on the. I haven't got a motorbike anymore, but I'd love to. I've seen so many trips on bikes to that part of Europe, and it just looks amazing. But at the minute, not going to happen. But it's definitely a must-see place for us. Lake Garda is stunning. We went down the bikes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so over to you guys, really. Anything you want to ask us? That's really our news, what we've been up to. The other thing, finally, one last thing, the editing suite that we're in now. You know you're getting old when you ask for a desk for a birthday present. But here we are. Here it is. So this is actually a really big upgrade for me. It means I can have everything set up, get on with editing in a space that's can be my own, as opposed to doing it on the kitchen table.
Give a thumbs up for the live stream.
Yeah, if you've not done so already, give us a thumbs up. Yes, Man Cave, definitely. The number is, you don't need to. What's the name of the desk? Really? No idea. That's great. I've got my own room. Love it. Man cave. Yes, definitely. But editing suite is a big upgrade for us. Anybody got any questions that they want to know? Ask now or forever hold your peace. Can you think of anything else we're doing in March? You got anything on? Finn's just learned to, or he's just learning to play the drums. So maybe if we get a band down at Trudge Fest, he can have a little go. I'm sure he won't want to do that. No. Thanks, Ian. Okay. So anything else going on? Yeah. Yes. Mistake even. What's your job? Really? So I work in sales. So I travel around the country. Predominantly, I don't want to say too much. I'll tell you offline.
Someone played them for 5 years.
Huh? Oliver Cox. Now, Oliver Cox is a boy, I think, at your age, but it's his dad who actually uses his son's account, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the trip to the north work out? Did the trip north work out? Oh, are you referring to... It's easy Finn played them for 5 years. He puts pins in up at the bowling alley. Somebody asked, did the trip up north work out? I think you're referring to my ridiculous trip to a university in Aberdeen. Don't know. I think so, but I'll come back to it. If you really want to know, I'll tell you another time. It's not Andy. It's me. Oh, sorry, Oliver. Nice to Oliver. How old are you? This is Finn. You put pins up at the bowling alleys. Cheers, Dan. Okay, so we've got. I've got a kind of way out there idea. 14. Okay, I've got a way out there idea. I'm not going to say what it is, but I really need some help from you guys, and I would really appreciate you dropping us an email with what are the 3 things that you love about caravanning or motorhoming. And if you've got kids or grandkids that go with you, please let us know what they love too. You can email me at mwwtms@outlook.com. That link will be in the description below after the live has finished. I didn't get time to put it in beforehand, but I'd love to know what it is that the 3 things that you really love about your caravanning, going away, and if you've got grandkids or children yourself, what they love as well. And that might shape something. I'm not going to promise anything, but it might shape something for which will be way later on in the year. But yeah, a little something for me. Our next live could well be Wednesday the 28th of March with our trip away. I'm not sure what we're going to have by way of internet connection, because we will be away for the beginning of April. So we may do a live on the 28th of March, but I'll let people know later on. I'll probably upload a little video just to say when our next live stream will be. So it may be end of the month. It might be in early April, but we'll have to see.
What does skin mean?
Gin.
Oh, gin.
Gin. Did someone say gin? Yes, I think so. So thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate everyone's support on these live streams. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, guys. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.